Hi, everyone. Welcome to Moovs Moments. My name is Pete Evenson, your host today. Moovs is an all-in-one solution for transportation operators. Whether you're just starting out or you've been in the industry for some time, Moovs provides the easiest software to delight your customers, drive more sales, and automate your day-to-day. Now, enough with the intro. Without further ado, I'm thrilled to announce my guest, Suman Anwar, Director of Operations from ANB Transportation. So good to see you. Thank you for joining me. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Pete. I'm good. How about you? How's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you so much. It's been really exciting, obviously, to watch ANB Transportation really take their business to the next level.
Thank you so much.
The reason why I brought you on today is I really want to know and learn more about your business, how you got started, and what this is intended to do is also, maybe there's people out there who want to start a transportation company, or maybe they've already started, but they want to find that same success that you've been able to find, and how do you overcome challenges? So this is also for them as well. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Pete, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to Moovs, because that's the main hero of ANB.
For sure. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. No, I appreciate the compliments.
Be here, and I'll be very glad to give whatever it takes for new companies or companies that have the stance of growing, to give some advices, talk about it, and there we are.
Perfect. So it'd be great to know a little bit more about yourself and your background. Maybe you could just shed a little bit, how you ended up in Philadelphia and, starting this company.
So you could say when the COVID time was here, I was working as a paralegal because I graduated from University of London in my Bachelor's of Law, nowhere near the industry. So I was working as a paralegal, and COVID hit, work was slow, everyone was working from home. I was even working as the advocate of High Court overseas. So I used to be always at home. So Lucky was in an unfortunate kind of a situation with an affiliate and an employee of us, and a chauffeur. So he was very frustrated. Every day I see him dealing the situation, writing emails, communicating. So one day I was like, can I try? Oh, yeah, sure. Are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure. So I took over the emails, I took over the argument, gave out our side of story and everything. And my affiliate, the chauffeur, us, we ended up on a very positive note. So I thought I accomplished something, and I was like, that's a good try. And then I thought that it might be something that I'm interested in. So I asked him if I could join him and we could do something together. So he was very happy to get me into the company and everything. I took control of it, and I never stopped.
So exciting. So I have so many questions to ask there. So maybe you could just shed some light on who Lucky is, and was the company already started for quite some time?
Lucky is the partners of my company, partner of my company. Yeah. And Lucky used to be in the limo industry since I think 15 plus years. He started in New York. So when he moved from New York to Pennsylvania, he started a company. We had an SUV and a sedan. Just like everyone starts small and eventually grows bigger, we had a sedan and an SUV, and pretty much it wasn't really, you could say, the sole thing that he was handling, because he was into a trucking business as well and different other ventures. So after COVID, he started slow, started giving some interest in the company, started affiliating around and everything, had house clients. So as I told the situation, just as he started giving some interest in the company, I jumped in and we started working together. And since then, we have not stopped. From those 2 cars, we are an operator who has 10 plus cars now.
Wow.
And so in a span of 1.5 years, by the way.
That is crazy. That is crazy. I'm so excited for you, because oftentimes there's an element of risk that comes with that, right? And I talk to a lot of operators who are in that 2 to 3 vehicle spot, and their intent is, I really want to grow. I want to take my business to the next level. And that can come with, adding more vehicles, and you have to generate more business, et cetera.
Yeah. Talking about risk, there was a funny story recently. We started a dealership of Mercedes. Lucky had to order something like a part or so. So I was just sitting there and I was watching a Sprinter van sitting right there, and Lucky was inside. So I stepped out of the car, I went inside, I met the fleet manager, and then I got the Sprinter. And I walked out and I said, Lucky, that's ours. And he was like, what? I was like, yes, I just got it. So that you're crazy. I was like, no, I'm not crazy. It's just my vision and I'm trying to build. So this is how actually I do. I just do it and I let Lucky know, Lucky, it's done. So talking about risk, it's a lot of risk, but once you are positive enough and you have the right vision, I'm sure you could accomplish anything.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. Obviously, having a partner that you're working with, there's a lot of trust that needs to happen on both sides, right? And so it sounds like you coming in here, you've been able to really, help take ANB Transportation to that next level where Lucky has built this trust with you and says, hey, I'm going to align with that vision. Maybe you can just shed some light on how you were able to build that trust and what makes a really good partnership work within this industry.
Well, when I started, there were some, you could say, loose ends that I tied them out. That was a major point where Lucky was like, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
So just like every other partner, we do have arguments, work related. We do have a lot of conflicts in regards of employees, in regards of fleet, in regards of different things. But we have always maintained the professional and personal line. Once I'm done arguing with on professional basis, done. It's not coming home.
Yeah.
So he gave me chances. Probably he gave me chances to see how well I could go. And I always accomplished those. I think that was the main key for him to trust me with the business. Also, we respect each other's point of view. If there is something that is not going my way or it's not going his way, we try to find a midway where everyone is respected. So this is how we are just going, and it's a crazy journey, but it's a beautiful journey. It's lovely to work together.
Yeah, really exciting. I mean, I think one of the biggest aspects is you got to be able to leave the business issues or those conflicts like outside of the door when you're going home, right? And you just can't take things personally.
That is exactly what happens. Once I step in home and he's trying to talk to me, hey, that chauffeur, I was like, who are you talking to? I don't know. At the workplace.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. It's a good journey that is going, of course, and all the partners that work together could relate that it is always better when there is trust and there is a good communication in between, because the key to success is trust. Once you're working with a friend, a partner, anything, a partnership, it's always good to have trust in between.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. And, one thing that I'm curious about is you're a paralegal, now entrepreneur. What are some of the things that you really enjoy about being an entrepreneur? What are some of the things that are really challenging on a day-to-day basis?
So when I started working in the law firm and the law industry, it was very hard to digest the fact that, someone is instructing me. Oh shit, I am being bossed around and I can't have a say, I can't give advices and everything. So it was very hard. And I'm such kind of a person, whereas it's very hard for me to be someone who could dictate me. So being an entrepreneur, I think you have your say. You're your own boss. You could make decisions, you could value people, you could value yourself, your say. So being an entrepreneur, the most enjoyable thing I think for me is that I can take my say, my things, my take, my way.
Yeah, you actually have a say that's tangible. Right. If you have a vision and you want to go and accomplish something, you can actually get that done.
And also, as I told you, when I started in my law industry, working there gave me you could say the idea, or gave me the ability to be a democratic leadership. I have that democratic leadership style. I value my employees' say. I value their input. We work as a family. I always share a meal twice a month with all of my chauffeurs, my dispatchers, my team. We sit at one table, we talk. I ask them what needs to be changed. It's not like, hey, this is this and you're going to do this. No way.
Yep.
It's our company. It's not my company. That's what I always tell them.
Yeah.
So the enjoyable thing is that I have my say and I listen to everyone's say. And with everything and everyone's voice, we create an environment where everyone is benefit in regards.
Love it. I love it. And it allows them to have some accountability in the company where if they have a direct say in improving the company, they are heard, which allows them to feel more accountability. And ultimately, what I've seen, being a business owner myself, is that can allow people to want to work hard and, roll up their sleeves and handle situations because they want to perform at a high level.
A little pat on your shoulder that, hey, you did a good job. It could motivate you so much. So
Totally.
I have been the one who's not given little pats. I'm like, hey, you got this. That was excellent. And that's the key, I believe.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So I want to know a little bit more about ANB Transportation and what sets you guys apart from other transportation companies. Let's start there, and then we'll talk a little bit more about how you've been able to really ramp up the company in such a short amount of time. So let's talk about what sets you apart first.
So that's a good question. So what sets us apart is, you could say we all come to a very similar industry, right? We have a lot of affiliates in Philadelphia that have the same pattern because we serve in the same market. But I would say what sets us apart is the very strong teamwork that we have. Once I'm hiring my chauffeur, when everything goes well and he's about to get to his first ride, I always tell him, listen, you are my main hero. Why? Because you're going to represent my company. I could sit here, I could type, I could do emails, I could just look forward into things and run the operations, but my chauffeurs are my main heroes. So the strong teamwork that we have, it's like a family relationship. I have chauffeurs who have been working us since we have started the company till now. I have dispatchers from very long time. We all work together as a family. My dispatchers and my chauffeurs, I always tell them, you guys are the main heroes. I am nothing. So once I gave them the trust that this is your business, handle it with care. It's very nice to see how they are motivated, how they bring the best out of themselves. So my chauffeurs always like, hey, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity that we could feel valued. Because I have no idea once the car is out, once the chauffeur is out, what the environment is. So once I appreciate my chauffeur, I motivate my team. They bring the best out of ANB Trans out there to the clients. This is, I think, the little different or setting apart element that we have with our company.
Sure. What about, in such a short amount of time, the success that you've been able to have with ANB Transportation? Being that just a few years ago, you were starting the company with 2 vehicles, now you're up to 10. What are some things that you would recommend to maybe a listener who's in that same position, 1, 2, 3 vehicles, wanting to take their business to the next level? What are some things that drove your success? What are some things that you would recommend that they do as well?
So I would firstly say that if you have a vision, go for it. Do not be scared to take a step. Being an entrepreneur is about taking risks, and I have taken them in every aspect of my company.
Yeah.
You do not need to stop. If you have something in your mind, make that happen. Execute the plan. You could do something and think about the outcome after doing that, and you could take that outcome very positively. I would say every business has ups and downs, lows and highs, but you gotta know that you got this. Sometimes you could be like this, but you got this. Sometimes you are here, you got this. So taking risks is one thing I would definitely advise any entrepreneur or any upcoming company that is trying to seek advice for being successful. If you have to do this, just do it. You will have control of it.
Yeah. So much of this industry is built on relationships.
That is right.
And that's one of the things, just from my own visual aspect of watching you and Lucky, is that you've been able to really penetrate this industry by establishing sound relationships with other operators, with your own clients. Talk to me about the importance of establishing those relationships and how that's been able to support your business and help it grow.
So I always tell everyone that the people out of my industry, they're friends like family, and they have been friends like family. I'm a very people's person. And when I stepped into the industry, when I started going to the show, firstly, I would advise, please go to the shows. Benefit yourself so much in regards of making good relationship, in regards of affiliating and giving a boost to your company. please attend the shows.
Yeah.
So when I started going to the shows, I started mingling around with my affiliates, the ones we used to work together, the ones we were working before I started the company or joined the company, and then the upcoming ones or the potential ones. And sitting with them, talking to them, listening to them, I learned a lot. You always learn everything from a very different person because everyone has a different point of view. So I go easy with everyone. I like to mingle around. I'm a very social person. And the thing is this, people in this industry, they are beautiful. Everyone had the same journey as you. So you could always relate. You could always seek advices. And one thing that I have seen and learned from our affiliates and our fellow industry people, they love to advise you, honest advices.
I mean, the shows are fun too, right? The shows are a good time. So I mean, obviously I've been to a fair amount of shows myself. And I think that one, there's such an important learning aspect at these shows. Two, I think that relationships are so key, and establishing those affiliate relationships. When you can put a face to the name of the company that you want to send a ride to, that those operators now have a relationship with you. It works on both sides, where ANB Transportation wants to perform at a high level, and the operator that's maybe sending you a ride has that trust in you, right? I think that just goes a long way by being at these shows and establishing those relationships.
And also, Pete, it's just that when I'm working with an affiliate and he sends me a ride, I take personal interest in those rides.
Sure.
I am presented there because I want my affiliate, if I have a good relationship with my affiliate and he's talking to me personally, he's having the trust in me, I would like that I would be presented when I'm working in regards of their client. So I seek person interest. I be there. I make sure that every note is specifically followed. I tell my client, listen, this is my affiliate. I need you to follow up on this ride in your best, excellent way. So this is how the affiliates trust me, because once they send out a ride, I make sure I call them or I text them and I say, hey, I got this. So they know that I have looked at their ride, I have put my interest in that, and that builds a very good, trustable relationship.
It's so important. I mean, the relationships in this industry, as far as affiliate relationships, this will continue to exist for forever, right? The way that the industry functions, with the way that farm-ins and farm-outs happen. But the most important thing is, making sure that those relationships are established, but also making sure that you can perform at a high level. Because if you're not performing, then those relationships ultimately can get jeopardized. So how do you ensure that rides go well, that your customers are happy? What are some of the things that you do to ensure that, these rides are set up for success, that maybe you can share with other operators as well?
So, as I said before, the personal interest that I give into everything, I do run the operations, but I'm always there. As everyone is in their business, but I always, after the ride is completed, if it's an affiliates or if it's a house client, I make sure that my team reaches to them and ask what could be better, what could be done in the next ride that would be better. I take critiques, I take appreciation, and we work it through. I make sure the client's notes are followed up, just as we say, handle with care, right? It's more into handle with care. If we have a note handled with care, my dispatch always calls the client 24 hours before confirming the ride, and they say, how would you like to be handled with care? Is there an elderly person? Is it a disabled person? Are there kids there? So we actually focus on every little aspect of the ride.
Yeah.
I always follow up with my clients. I always follow up with my affiliates. Hey, how was the ride? How was the chauffeur? Do you have anything to recommend? Would you like any changes in your next upcoming ride? And that has helped us a lot. Communicating with your clients is always good, because you will actually get to know what was lacking. You will get to know what improved, what went well. So this is how I have maintained the relationship with my in-house clients and my affiliates.
The feedback, whether it be great, whether it be areas of improvement, feedback is so important for a business to be able to just continue growing and take it to the next level. So I think these anecdotes that you're sharing are very, very important and will help other operators as well. I want to know about you a little bit more about customer acquisition and how important marketing is. I was just on your website earlier. I think you have a fantastic website.
Yeah.
It looks great. It has a trustworthy presence. Talk to me about the importance of marketing and establishing that brand equity trust through marketing, right? What are some things that you see that are the most important as far as marketing goes?
I believe marketing is the main element of a company. If your marketing is doing good, you are doing good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could just open a business, and if there is no marketing, you're not acknowledged. So we have a great marketing team that we work with. Our marketing ways are quite different. We plan to actually excel this company with more marketing skills, but I say that marketing is very important. You need to make sure your company is acknowledged in your local area, wherever your service area in Philadelphia or whatsoever. You could join communities, organizations of your city, and you could market out with them. You should attend all your regional limousine association meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You should be having a good networking. As soon as you start networking, that's when you start marketing. And
Mm-hmm.
online marketing, of course, invest yourself in Google ads, invest yourself in good SEO services, and much more. So marketing is definitely a key for a successful business.
So good. And I think that operators at times get stuck on what are the most important things. Do I need a web presence? Do I need to increase reviews?
Exactly. And nowadays, it's everything about social media.
Mm.
If someone has to go with you, I am a person, if I have to go with anything like a nail salon, a hair salon, or whatsoever, I would try finding them on Instagram. I would try finding them on Facebook. I would see how operational they are, what's their feedback, what are the reviews, and that's when I make my mind that, okay, I'm going to go with this one.
Sure.
Right? Because marketing itself and giving out your clients a real-time experience is itself a trust element that you build.
Yeah. The trust aspect, whether it's affiliates, whether it's direct customers, the trust aspect is how can I establish?
If I do not have any real-time reviews, if I do not have any real-time pictures, marketing, no one would make up a mind. They would rather go with another person who has that strong marketing, who has that strong real-time aspect in their company, because it's all about going online, right?
Sure. Yeah.
They go online, book through the online tool. So once they go online, they make sure they find you at every social media platform.
Yeah, it's ANB Transportation is an operator of the future. I look at all of these things that you're doing where you're establishing what sets our company apart in this new age of going digital and having that trustworthy online presence and keeping things very, smooth in the way that customers work with you and affiliates work with you. So I think that's spot on. Let's talk about 2023. We're coming up into the new year. And what are some things that you want to try and do in 2023 to make sure that it's a successful year?
Well, I believe, firstly, I would work on all those things that we lack. Before this year ends, I should have a plan. I should have a plan that whatever is lacking, I will make sure that is handled well. And once we start with the new year, all those things are taken control of. Secondly, I would say more like adding new fleet, more into going to electronic vehicles and fleet. Also, we are planning to start up with the motor coach business as well.
Wow.
So that would be the 2023's.
Yeah. So just to dive into that, you think that electric vehicles, it's a good investment in terms of where things are heading? I
believe so. So we do have one in our fleet right now. As of we have a Tesla. And people do call us. They specifically ask for electronic vehicles.
Yeah.
Especially in this time of the world, there are many people who would want to be all eco-friendly. Yeah,
sustainable, environmentally conscious, things like that. Yep, makes sense.
So with the demand, I would say that it's a good idea.
Okay, so last statement, and then feel free if you want to share anything else. Last question that I have is, if you were to, if someone's just starting out their business, they want to start a business, so they haven't even started, what are maybe one or two things that you would recommend to them to get into this industry and go do?
I would say, firstly, trust your instinct. Go slow and steady. You can never rush into getting into the industry. You just can't open, and you could have like 10 plus cars the day one you open your new business. You should have a good clientele. You should have good relationships with your affiliate. Once the workflow starts flowing in, that's when you decide how much of the fleet you need, what kind of operations you need, how many chauffeurs you would have, and you could decide on the teamwork and everything. So I would say go slow, trust your instinct, never stop believing in yourself. We have seasons where work is slow, the nature of the year or the season or the month. Everyone does. It gives you a little bit of a, hey, am I doing wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Is this business the right choice? But do not stop trusting yourself. Yep. There can be good times, there can be bad times, but you can always overcome them. So trust the process, and you got this. I love it.
I love it. Well, I can't thank you enough for coming on, joining me. Is there anything else that you want to share? Anything else that, before we sign off here?
I would just like to say, not sponsored, love Moves. Definitely the best tool we could have, has helped us succeed also. The booking tool you guys gave us on our website, everything about Moves, I love it, Pete. I love it.
And I promise this wasn't, I didn't say that you needed to say these things.
Not sponsored at all, but our chauffeurs love it. So easy to use. When people come up to me and they're like, hey, why Moves? I always tell them, hey, half of the time I am running to the grocery store and I have phone in my hand, I'm operating Moves through my phone, and I'm just dragging my cart. So it makes it so user-friendly. Thank you so much, Pete.
Of course, and it's users, yeah, go ahead.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity. And I love this industry. I love my industry friends like family, and everyone who is a part of this limousine industry. Thank you so much.
I can't thank you enough. And obviously, thank you for such kind words. It's operators like you that give me so much excitement, to keep making sure that this industry continues to succeed. And, maybe I can have a little bit of a part in that as well. So can't thank you enough. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.